All right, here we go. I'm saying that like this is a normal episode and not just a Patreon episode, which we've just been kind of going down the path of just it starts when it starts, and by God, listener, it ends when it ends. Do you feel like when you eat Popeyes before recording a podcast, it's like kind of the equivalent of like Tom Brady eating all of that like TB12 method powder shit?
Yeah. Just in that it like locks you in.
Yeah. That it, like in the same way that eating electrolytes and carbohydrates, simple carbohydrates and, lean proteins and everything would lock you in for an athletic event. Like eating Popeyes would lock you in to sit down, not move, and talk shit for 2 hours.
Yes. No, it's good. I want to just be swallowing burps for the next hour and a half.
That seems like a you thing, like a digestion thing.
I think it is, yeah.
What's your nutrition looking like these days?
Well, I had
3
Popeyes
squares a
for
day?
dinner.
3 square meals a day?
No, I can't actually. I thought I was for a second. I don't really know what I was going for. No, it's like 2.5.
That's pretty
A
good.
little snack for breakfast.
We gotta overhaul breakfast in this country.
Mm-hmm.
What we're doing is wrong.
Yeah,
because
all these tech bros, you want to disrupt something.
You're saying you're putting out a missive. I'm
saying you want to disrupt all these.
I thought you were saying that I'm a tech bro for saying that we need to overhaul breakfast.
Well, maybe a little bit, but
I don't mean we need to overhaul breakfast and replace it with Soylent. I mean we need to overhaul breakfast and just like we can keep it generally how it is, but just make the things better. Because like,
are you thinking of any specific like things?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. I was waiting for that. It's like,
I know you're not a bacon guy.
Well, I hate bacon.
Yeah.
Because it's not good.
Okay.
But that's beside the point. We can keep bacon as part of breakfast. We don't have... Americans love sweet breakfast, but we don't have good sweets for breakfast. So what's that all about? Like if you go to a coffee shop and you want to have like quote unquote sweet breakfast, like a croissant or something, or like a pastry, the pastry options aren't good. They're like stale and room temperature and not filling. So I'm always like, okay, I ate this pastry. Ostensibly, I got the 350 calories or whatever that I need for breakfast, which is not enough. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to sustain the cup of coffee that I'm going to eat and whatever I'm doing in the morning until I eat a large lunch. But I don't feel full because this is just this sad little wispy pastry that they gave me with my coffee. We just need to do better, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I live in the most expensive city on the planet. I can't have a coffee shop near me that has a good pastry. What's up with that? And why are the savory pastry options always so much worse than the sweet pastry options? We live in an anti-savory society. And I know that you can appreciate this because you like savory things.
I do like savory things. I opt for savory at breakfast. It's too early for sweet. Although I will say I've been known to house a plate of French toast. Which I love, but and maybe to your point, I do think that the range of quality in French toast is so vast that it's almost not worth ordering. Like we need a universal standard of French toast. You know how like what don't like the French have like their standard of what qualifies as like bread or whatever, like a certain level of sugar. If there's this much sugar, that's not bread anymore. I think that only is for baguettes, which are like a historically significant bread. The French love to be like, this is historically significant.
I think it was because of like, I don't know, probably something to do with the royals and the French Revolution and the baguettes. And I don't know.
It all comes back to that.
If you want, I could go to the Wikipedia page for French Revolution, a page that I find myself on often.
Oh, yeah?
Just reading, just learning. Did you know that there's a museum out there? I don't remember what museum, however, but this was...
Off to a good start.
There exists a museum.
Uh-huh.
And in said museum...
The Museum of the Mind.
In said museum, I learned this via the trivia game show Jeopardy! You familiar with that?
I am.
I was watching Tournament of Champions last week. And there was a question about how some museum houses a real live from the French Revolution reign of terror, a guillotine.
Wow.
So like new David Rubenstein artifact just dropped. Buy that guillotine.
Do you think he would? That feels like maybe it'd be a little too close to comfort. A little
too explosive, I think. Yeah.
Well,
that would be an epic irony moment. Local billionaire buys one of 2 remaining guillotines.
Right. To take it out of circulation, make sure it doesn't get used.
I like how you're saying it like they're a finite resource. Like we can't possibly build another one. We don't build things anymore.
No, we don't.
Those things that we're referring to we don't build guillotines anymore.
We don't. We literally don't.
I mean, we don't. No, we don't. Should we?
You can. I don't
know. We're on the Patreon feed.
I don't know how many guillotines are in circulation right now, so it's hard to say. Are they all checked out? Like
GPC guillotines per capita.
Universal basic guillotines.
GPM,
everyone gets
guillotines
one?
Per mil.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, good.
I don't know how we got here. I was talking about breakfast.
Yeah.
And you started talking about French standards.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing about the French, though.
Yeah. Tell me the thing about the French.
Well, before I do that, I'm going to read a text message that I just received from my mother. The Mets suck. She's right.
She is not wrong.
The thing about the French is the standards are worth it because their food is legitimately great.
Right.
You get an omelet here in America, it's like, okay, you got a couple fucking dry eggs and you're on your way. You get an omelet in France and you're like, my whole week is made.
Mm-hmm.
That's the level of standards that I would like to rise to in my life. I feel as though I hold myself to a high standard.
You do. It's
sometimes to a fault.
But I think you're right that it's like we need to raise the baseline, basically. Like I think good breakfast food is good, but there is like an ocean between a good plate of eggs and a bad plate of eggs.
To be clear, though, I'm not really talking about a plate of eggs because I'm happy to go to the diner and sit down, but I just don't always have time for that.
Okay.
American diner culture is good, does not need to be disrupted.
Right.
American pastry culture, on the other hand, does. Too heavy on the sweets, not enough savory options, and the savory options are sad. They're always sad. It's always like, oh, this ham and cheese croissant. The ham was cooked 3 days ago, and the croissant was baked 2 days ago. I'm just sad about it. I don't know what to tell you. I had a bad ham and cheese croissant today for breakfast.
I wondered if maybe you were speaking from a recent personal experience.
The way that you podcast is you take a personal slight that happened to you and you apply it to greater society.
Well, that's your lived experience. You can't deny that.
Right.
And I'm not one to do that.
That's kind of how Jerry Seinfeld is going about his life these days. Yo, I watched the Unfrosted movie, the Pop-Tart movie.
Mm-hmm. Good. Would recommend.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
Okay.
But it is the movie that sent me down a deep, deep existential spiral.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was tough. Yeah. Tough sit, as we say. I was like, oh my God, they have a lot to wrap up in this movie. There's only like 15 minutes left. Because I knew the runtime, obviously, heading into it. Because I was like, this is how long I will have to sustain it. And I was like, they have so much to wrap up. You know, there's only like maybe like 15, 20 minutes left. I looked down, 37 minutes had passed.
Jesus.
We should have criminal hearings for the people involved in making that movie.
We should actually have probably criminal hearings for one of those people, but
the Pop-Tart movie. I don't even eat Pop-Tarts, but perfect example of what I'm talking about. I don't like Pop-Tarts.
No, they're not good.
No.
They're not good.
And even if they were good, I wouldn't want that for breakfast.
Mm-mm.
What is so wrong with me being anti-sweets? Everybody's like, let people enjoy things. What about me? I don't get to enjoy things. No bless yous for Giacomo? Clearly in a weird mood today. Should we do 3 up, 3 down?
I think. Yeah.
Would you like to start with up or down? No. Last time we determined we were always going to start with down and we were going to do all the downs first and then we were going to do the ups.
Yeah.
I'd like you to talk for a little while, so why don't you go first?
Okay, all right. Bobby, you're familiar with the erstwhile segment Bad Take Dramatic Readings.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I came across an article that it felt like a perfect candidate for said segment. And although we are not doing that segment right now.
Are we going segment within a segment mode?
I think we might be going segment within a segment mode.
Segment inception? Oh man.
The headline of this article. This is in the Washington Examiner, so it's like a conservative rag. Like you know what you're getting into. The headline for this article.
Do you often find yourself reading the Washington Examiner?
I do. Yeah. No, I actually really appreciate their cultural criticism.
Right.
I read their music reviews are off the hook.
Okay.
The headline is MLB announcer refers to player's pregnant girlfriend as his partner.
Oh my God, I saw this.
Okay.
I saw the headline,
right.
and I also saw whatever his name is, the Phillies play-by-play guy. I also saw him tweeting in response
to the writer.
Yeah, not even to the writer, but
more
to
just to the people talking about it.
Yes, exactly.
It's just, I wish my life was easy enough that I could come up with gripes like these. This is how this starts. Okay, ostensibly, vaguely about sports. It's widely known that left-wing political activists have done much to hijack language in an attempt to redefine it to align more with their socio-political beliefs and ideologies. It's widely known.
Widely known. Yes,
you agree with that?
I do. You could say that every week we try to hijack language here on this podcast.
I think we do a very good job of it. I'm skimming this because I don't want to spoil some of the hooks for you. You know, the twists in here. The left has diligently worked to attack and recreate the culture. Unfortunately, it's working. It is another example of why the culture war is so important.
Oh fuck!
You forgot about the culture war. Oh fuck! You?
No. I mean, yes, of course. Okay. No, I live the culture war every day. Right. I'm a fucking vanguardist of the culture war. No, does this count? Is this a culture war? Should we mark it off the bingo card?
Wow, interesting.
The Washington Examiner is saying that this is a culture war.
That's true.
I don't think it's big enough yet, but we're scouting it.
Give it some time.
We're scouting it like Kylie McDaniel is scouting a 14-year-old. That's staying in. It's the Patreon.
During Monday's baseball game broadcast between the Philadelphia Phillies and San Francisco Giants, the Phillies announcers discussed Giants pitcher Blake Snell's recent stint on Major League Baseball's paternity list. Yet, instead of referring to the woman carrying Snell's child as his girlfriend, the announcer called her his partner. It was a quick comment that most people might not have even noticed. Yeah, you're fucking right about that.
Until you wrote an article about it.
Or if they did, they didn't think it was worthy of criticism. However, remaining silent on these subtle socio-political and cultural shifts allows these kind of changes to happen in society. He goes on to say, I don't know if Snell or his girlfriend have any business dealings together. Perhaps they've started a company or have been working on some joint venture. There's like another 500 words in this article that it doesn't feel worth divulging because it's nonsensical, right? I mean, it's like monkey hits the keyboard, a bunch of like words come out, and you hit publish.
Whom among us has not been searching for 750 stray words that they had to fake be mad about?
Yeah, calling Snell's girlfriend his quote partner is a big deal. It really is. It's setting the stage for a radical shift in cultural norms for generations to come. Compliance with this advances the left's agenda.
If only it did, Because there's not much else going on to advance the left's agenda.
Ayo. Anyway, he goes on to talk about a slippery slope, and eventually the word, girlfriend is going to become a slur, and like we're not ready for that world,
It's also nuanced though, because sometimes language is dumb.
Well, yes, of course, and we reserve the right to call that out when it is.
Yes, like have you been seeing this post going around on X the Everything app? By the way, I think it's actually called X the Everything platform.
No way. Oh my God. So that's why
I don't know.
We haven't been getting any of the sponsorship checks.
I went to X the Everything platform app in the App Store the other day, and there's like a lot of paid reviews. Like a lot of paid 5-star reviews. Using some incredibly flowery language.
Mm-hmm.
But have you been seeing this post going around where that person was like, what are the load-bearing posts of our time?
Right.
and it's just everybody posting all the same screenshots of all of their same.
Yeah, it's just.
Their favorite.
It's a nice little
great.
tradition that like every 6 months someone's like post tweets on the tweet platform, and everyone's like, "Here's my favorite."
Yeah, exactly. And I've been seeing a lot of ones that are like, guy on Twitter, I'm tweet maxing my, saying dumb stuff like that. Person in real life, hey man, how are you?
Right.
So language is dumb. We have ruined language, but I don't think that's a left or right thing. I think it's just an internet thing in general. Like this article is a good example of that. You just wouldn't say something to someone in real life if they were like, yeah, my partner and I went to the baseball game yesterday. You wouldn't be like, you're advancing the left's agenda, you motherfucker. Look at you. Look me in the eye and tell me that you don't want socialism to take over this country.
I don't know. Go outside,
you
man.
Commie bastard. I don't know, man. Go outside.
Chili, go outside, close the computer, log off. Sorry, I should direct this to Christopher Tremogli. Doesn't matter.
Unfortunate that he's an Italian American. We're not sending our best and brightest.
No, we're not. Oh, he does in his Twitter bio. He has Italian flag, and then the like. What do you call this?
Keep going.
I need you to save me here. The hand motion.
Yeah. Whoa, wait.
Right, exactly. So he has flag emoji.
Oh, just a repeat?
Just a repeat, in case it wasn't clear the first time.
What do you think this podcast would be like if you were Italian too? I've been thinking
getting into dangerous territory here.
We're thinking of giving you an honorary Italian American degree.
Oh. I'm still holding out for that citizenship from your mom. I know we determined that was
yeah, I discussed this with her last weekend.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah.
Updates?
She led me to believe that it's a lot of paperwork.
I'm sure it is.
And I said, hey mom, you're retiring in a month.
You got nothing but time.
Exactly.
Okay, so then our civil partnership or whatever is still on.
Right. We do own a business together. We are partners.
We are literally partners.
We
are
just
partners. Saying.
No, but I've been thinking about this because there is sort of like an incredible wave of Italian American social media happening out there that I'm not sure if you're aware of. There's a lot of like Italian American, meme pages, right. Growing up Italian. Mm-hmm. And they are so fucking problematic. I mean, I would say you would not believe it, but of course you would believe it. So we could provide a service to all of the Italian Americans out there like myself who don't want to be problematic. We're sort of like starting.
You're saying not all Italians.
We could start a spin-off. Like we could counter program the Fox News culture of Italian Americans.
You're taking it back, man.
And we could be like The Intercept. But for Italian American social media posting.
That kind of broke my brain a little bit. I'm not going to
lie.
Yeah,
of course it did. Of course. These are the things I think about. I'm going to add that to my running list of new podcast ideas that I have in my phone.
Do it. Email it to ourselves.
Yeah, but I can't say it out loud, though, because then unnamed audio company will be like, that's mine now. I thought of that. So I'm going to redact the last 5 minutes.
Good. All right.
23 minutes.
23 minutes in. Jesus. Do you have a down or an up or just a?
I do have a down. My first down is it's a quick one. We'll do a quick one so that we can keep it pushing. Mm-hmm. Ronald Acuna's out for the year.
Yeah.
On just like a nothing play,
Mm-hmm.
He was stealing and then the catcher blocked the ball, so he stopped and he turned back and boom, just like that, tore his ACL. I don't have a take.
Yep, fucking sucks.
Every pitcher is out.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to lose the good hitters.
Well, there are no good hitters anymore.
Yes, there are. They're all in the Phillies and Dodgers. God. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Because it also means that the Braves are going to win the World Series now, because that's what happened last time. Missed the whole season. God. We're so done.
This is when it becomes really hard to do a baseball podcast. I say with great privilege, because because I don't like talking about players who get hurt. Just makes me sad. I'm like, wow, these are real emotions I feel for you, Ronald Acuna.
Yeah.
You've melted my heart of ice.
It's crazy how, like, in sports, you can just blow out your knee and then you just don't have to work for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks. But if you blew out your knee and you didn't have to work for a year, we'd be throwing you a fucking party.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Should I blow out my knee?
See, I think that you actually would have to work.
I think so.
You'd maybe get like a week off.
Our general counsel is currently limping around the office because he's in torn ACL recovery mode.
Ooh, God.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not a civilian injury.
It really is not. It shouldn't be.
Whenever somebody like tears their Achilles or ACL, I'm like, God,
what are you doing?
No. I haven't played basketball since before the pandemic, which is the longest I've gone without playing basketball, since I was like 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to get the itch again to play because I've been hearing a lot of people sharing the sentiment. And this is not a new sentiment, but like, when you're 40, you're going to wish that you played more when you were 25 or 28 or whatever. So I've been hearing people say that. And I'm like, well, I played so much when I was younger that for like a while I was like, I don't miss playing at all. But now I kind of do miss it a little bit. But I just think about the soft tissue injuries that could come with taking 3 years off and then jumping right back in and knowing me, I'm just like a psychotic person. Like I can't just go play basketball and be normal.
No, of course not.
Go play basketball and be like, this is it's not game 7 of the NBA Finals, but it is game 5.
Right.
Every time I'm out there.
I believe it. I haven't really seen you play much basketball.
Well, maybe we could get out there and just be like Steph and Clay, you and me just.
That's what I've always compared
getting shots up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I also live next to a park that has a basketball court. And I see those kids out there. I'm like, these kids suck. These kids suck. I'd give them absolute work.
How old are the kids?
Like 15.
Okay, yeah.
But when I was 15, I could have given random 28-year-old work, and I did very often.
I'm sure they see it as a challenge.
At the Y.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just staring them down. Once again, like Kylie McDaniel, like, who doesn't have it? All right, what's your next down?
Real Kylie McDaniel hours out here.
He's just the one. Like one time I saw him arguing for like 4 straight days about why it's okay to fall. Yeah.
He responded to us directly, which I think is.
Did he?
Yeah, because we like quote tweeted him and was like, I don't remember what we said. We were like, this is kind of skeevy, huh? And he was like, well, this is how it's always been done.
Oh, I do remember this.
Yeah.
Dang. So we it's like we're like the Grim Reaper meme when it goes from like one door to the next. So like we got rid of Job Boy. Who's up next? I say we got rid of John Boy, but guess what, bro? I was at the Mets game yesterday. 3 rows behind me, someone was talking about how they were just listening to the John Boy talk about something on the way there. And I'm like, we're at Citi Field, man.
Yeah.
This is not John Boy hours.
This is not his territory.
Yeah, no. You don't go. Let's move on.
I will say it does bring me immense amounts of joy seeing the baseball community so slowly and steadily turn on him, right? Like I think he had another.
I don't know. I muted him.
Oh, wow.
I muted him. I muted John Boy Media. I muted them all. I muted Talkin' Jake. I just don't need it anymore.
No, it's that's protecting your mental health. All right, my next down.
Follow up from my mom. She says they need pitching. They need more than that.
Mm-hmm. Buto boys, where are we at?
He's in the. Oh my god!
No, I shouldn't have said anything. I'm sorry.
I'm so mad. I'm saying like 5 Hail Marys to like get myself through this moment. The Lord is with thee. Blessed are those.
My next down is like the way that we're kind of talking about Livy Dunn over the last few weeks. Like the
Livy Dunn defender has logged on.
Well, I mean, generally speaking, I don't really care either way, right? I get it, right? Because this sport fucking sucks, and we're all grasping at any reason why this sport may be culturally relevant beyond the 162 games, right? Like I understand that aspect. So when someone's dating an influencer, we're like, it's baseball's back, baby. Back in the zeitgeist. You know, this is why I was and continue to root for Cole Tucker and Vanessa Hudgens, right? But I don't know. I saw a clip today from the Tigers broadcast where they were like comparing their social media followings. And
I saw that.
I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And then they like continued to just kind of chat, and it just got weirder and weirder to where one broadcaster was like doing something on his phone. The other guys were like, "What you doing over there, buddy?" And he's like, just give me a second. Just give me a second. And they're like, are you following Livy Dunn right now? And he like gives a sheepish giggle and is like, no, I'm following Paul Skeens, duh. And then they go on and they're like, hey, are you going to interview Livy in the crowd? And the sideline reporter's like, yeah, if I see her, I'll try. Sure. And the one guy's like, yeah, dude, like shoot your shot, like go for it, whatever. And I'm like, are we for real right now? This is a baseball broadcast, right? With grown men who ostensibly know better.
Right.
I understand, like, we were even guilty of Livy Dunn overexposure. I think when we talked with Bauman, her name came up like 4 or 5 times. I get it, you know? She's a moment.
On the Power Brokers draft? I was like, on State of Labor? Like, does she have some takes that I don't know about? I blocked out Power Brokers draft because we lost to him. So
that's fair.
That didn't happen.
It didn't.
That was what I'm now introducing as a new concept here, a non-canon episode of Tippy Bitches.
Oh yes, there you go.
Yeah, non-canon.
Yeah. That's kind of it. Just stop talking weird shit about the baseball player's girlfriend.
I can't believe that this is still a thing. I just
like what?
This is a bad baseball year so far, in my estimation. I almost made this one of my downs.
Ooh.
But I chose to be more specific, and I don't feel like I fully brought this take into focus yet.
Right.
There's like a lot missing this season. And it's not just the players that are injured. I just feel like there's not a predominantly interesting storyline. There's a lot of things that we're trying to talk ourselves into as the most interesting storyline of the season. I guess if I was forced to pick, the 2 that I would choose are Soto being amazing on the Yankees, and the Yankees being good, and Skeens coming up.
Yeah.
More broadly. But I feel like people are really grasping for like, this is interesting. Let's hold on to this.
Yes.
Yeah. Be normal challenge. MLB announcers. Impossible.
Be normal Tigers broadcast booth. Challenge.
Isn't
impossible.
Benetti the Tigers broadcaster now? He is.
Yeah, he is. So these were like the pregame guys. I don't know. It was Carlos Pena and someone else.
Carlos Pena from Moneyball?
Yeah, that one. But to his credit,
Jeffrey Epstein, the New York financier.
Wow. All right, what's your next down?
My next down, Alex, is the passage of time. I had a reel like that can't be right yesterday because people were posting the 8-year anniversary, 8-year anniversary, 8, 2 less than 10, 3 more than 5, 4 times 2, 8, 8, 8, Ocho, 8.
Can you do any others?
No. Okay. How do you say 8 in French? You were just going to say 8 with a French accent. 8 in English with a French accent.
Hold on, 8.
I've never known French, man. I just never had any interest. You know, why don't they pronounce half the consonants? I can't figure it out.
I took a semester in French. I had to you have to learn a language you have to take a couple years of it, whatever. I don't know why you.
You took a semester of French before switching to Italian?
Yeah, I took a semester of French.
Get honorary Italian.
Got a C, and then was like, fuck this. I'm not doing it.
You can't be blowing up your GPA for French.
I know.
You can't
No way.
Come on now. I no French. No French whatsoever.
No French. But 8.
8 years since Noah Syndergaard was ejected for throwing at Chase Utley.
Wow.
We're coming up on a full decade.
Yeah.
And I freaked out because I was like, that can't be true. Like this timeline does not compute in my head because I remembered because when the video that was posted alongside with this, because I follow a lot of like This Day and Mets history accounts. The video that was posted alongside of it was the Terry Collins ass in the jackpot video.
Right.
And I was like, well, that could not have been 8 years ago because we talked about that on the podcast the day after it happened. But I remembered there was like a weird thing where there was a leak from the MLB commissioner's office 2 years after the event, after the ejection. So it was like, this event did happen 8 years ago, but the thing that I associate most with it only happened 6 years ago. But either way, that's still a long time.
I mean, the thing that fucked me up is thinking that like we graduated 6 years ago, that we've been out of school, just like
grinding it,
doing this for 6 years.
Every week.
Still waiting for the big break, you know?
It's coming.
It is.
It's coming.
I can feel it.
The Woke Italian American podcast. That's the big break.
The ticket to success.
Yeah, man. And that was like the last time Noah Syndergaard was good. 2016.
Yes, you're right about that. Yeah. Well, that's when he started reading Jordan Peterson, and it kind of all went downhill from there.
We should look into that. Like, was he actually reading Jordan Peterson before that, or did he really lose it because of that? I mean, there could be a not insignificant correlation there.
Right.
Okay, what's your next down?
All right, interesting. Keep
do
it
you want
in the back pocket.
You want to bring back Dr. JP this week?
I can't do it. I refuse. I've already done French.
He was like talking about the brain stem. Jordan Peterson. When I was doing the Jordan Peterson impression 2 weeks ago, what was the thing that I kept repeating?
What, like have it your way, buddy? that was his thing.
He loves McDonald's just like us. No, that's Burger King. Have it your way. I don't know. My brain is fried today.
All right. This is great. This is going really well. We're on third down.
People pay money for this.
Don't tempt them.
Tempt them? Ye of little faith. I said the Hail Mary 5 minutes ago.
Not on pod.
Yeah, I did. I only whispered it.
Oh. Really?
Just the beginning.
Can you turn it up when in the final production?
What is left over from your Catholic education? People don't know this. We don't talk about this on the pod. You grew up going to Catholic school.
Well, I went to a Catholic high school, right? So I went to public school.
Right.
And then...
Well, and then you went to a private Catholic school, but like in Berkeley.
Right.
So
it was like Catholic is kind of in scare quotes, you know?
But this will be great for your honorary Italian American citizenship application.
Yeah.
If you know stuff about Catholicism. Because all of us, it's just like, it's in the bloodstream. You know? The Apostles' Creed. Roll that one out at parties.
Jesus. I never learned that one.
Come on, dog.
I Hail Mary.
You got the Our Father in there?
I got the Our Father.
Okay. That's good enough.
I'm not going to say it on pod. Hail Mary, the Lord is...
You know how to make bolognese?
I do.
Great.
Blessed
2 for 2
are
when my sister
those who walk amongst men.
They are. But that's not what the prayer is.
And those who make bolognese.
Bordering on offensive now. When my sister met her then boyfriend, now husband, now partner, my uncle texted her and said he has to get these 3 questions right or you have to break up with him. And the 3 questions were, what are the ingredients of spaghetti carbonara? I'm like, first of all, you gave away one of the ingredients. It's right there in the name. Define or describe broccoli rabe. That was the second question. The third question, which I thought was the hardest, is who is Mario Lanza? And that one will be the stumper for you.
That'll be the reason that I'm not invited on the pod.
Yeah,
it's okay.
He was like one of the crooners. You know, he was like knockoff Sinatra.
We got it.
I'm sure that's like slanderous. Sorry to the Lanza estate. All right, your third down.
My third down is, I think, just watching this Steve Cohen casino saga unfold. Right? I mean, like the most recent news was that New York State Senator Jessica Ramos announced that she's not introducing the legislation required to advance the project, right?
I have this as one of my ups, so maybe we can just talk about this. Right. Like, no casino is one of my ups, but we can just talk about this as this is like a straight down the middle tipping pitches.
Yes,
topic.
Yeah, it is. She basically announced that like the legislation like for the quote ballpark village will advance, but the casino aspect of that is left out. Yes. Right, that was my understanding of it.
Yes,
because she
co-signed the hotel, like in the restaurant, the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel and Resort or whatever, but not the casino.
Right, exactly. And I this feels like such a microcosm of how baseball truly does interplay with like the broader political forces in our society, right? Because the way the story is framed is that Jessica Ramos blocked this deal because she says, you know, based on her own research, 75% of my constituents don't want a casino in their backyard, right? And so now it's up to Steve Cohen to find a way around Jessica Ramos to get his casino built.
Yeah.
But like, no, it's not. That's it. It's over. The person who represents the place where you want to build this says, hey, most of us don't want it. I don't know. That feels like in most cases, that would be the end of the road. But obviously, this is going to be a drawn out process. And he's still, you know, he can still go and try to acquire his gaming license, and Ramos has no control over that. So it's like,
yes, this
is where it becomes this very esoteric, backroom deal laden project.
Does Steve Cohen have any history with any things going on, sort of like under the table? Like some things happen above the table, you know, by the Mets, very public thing.
Yeah,
about under the table,
right?
Like when you go from above the table to under the table.
Yeah.
Steve Cohen have anything on the Wikipedia page there?
I don't know. That's a good question. Someone can look into that.
Yeah. I thought her statement was very good. Mm-hmm. Very reasonable.
Yeah.
Towed the line of still trying to appear American. It's this very like elected official.
Yeah.
You know, like while I support, you know, economic advancement, I don't think it, you know, like without being I hate all you rich motherfuckers, but it was just talking, the statement alluded to the fact that it actually talks a lot about green space, you know, in the statement, because we're at the ballpark village will expand into Corona Park, which is in Flushing Meadows, which is where Citi Field is. And she also had something in there which I found pretty compelling and interesting about how we don't have to just say thank you for the like measly portion of a rich person's project that we actually get.
Yeah.
Like we can acknowledge the fact that yes, we do need jobs in this part of the city or in this part of the world or whatever. But we can say, yeah, you guys put us in this position.
Right.
You know, and we don't have to say thank you for giving us a project that will give some of us jobs, but will actually ultimately benefit one person the most. And in this case, it's Steve Cohen and the Hard Rock Casino people. But, you know, she also was against the Amazon expansion into Queens too, a few years ago. And so, good statement.
Yeah.
State Senator Jessica Ramos. Come on the pod. Okay, my third and final down. We lost a real one. Angel Hernandez. Gone before his time. Why start the year and then retire in May?
I don't know.
I guess it's kind of like you cash a few more checks. He probably made like $50,000 since the start of the season.
Right.
And now he retires right when the weather gets nice. I guess it's pretty good.
Yeah.
The down here is that he retired, and we still don't have a statement from the MLB Umpires Union. What the hell?
It's actually a travesty.
It's a crisis.
If we're being honest, I am not entirely certain the MLB Umpires Union still exists. I mean, yes, functionally, of course it does, but like there is no discernible presence of it. Its website does not load. They haven't tweeted in like 3 years.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think that's because of wokeness?
I think it is because of wokeness.
Did wokeness get them?
Yeah.
Obviously, when I say we lost a real one this week, I'm actually referring to Bill Walton,
right,
who was like one of the realest athletes to ever live. And I don't think I realized that he was sick.
I don't think I did either.
I mean, I know that he's had like various health complications over the years, but Bill Walton, for people listening, he did cross over into the baseball world a couple times where he would call games, but legendary college and NBA basketball player, played on the epic like 1960s and 70s UCLA teams. I think he was actually only there in the 70s, but was a member of the longtime member of the Portland Trailblazers, part of the Boston Celtics 1980s dynasty teams, but also just like one of the most interesting human beings who has ever lived or who has ever like risen to celebrity status in our culture. Legendary deadhead, legendary anti-war activist, legendary vegan, like just a real, like, I live life to the fullest at all moments kind of guy. I got to meet him when I was doing the Jackie McMullen's NBA pod, and he's just is like that, man. Jackie was like, I have a hard out 2 hours from now, and I only need him for one story, and I don't know if I'm going to hit this hard out. But really just like, RIP to him. That is an actual down.
Yes.
I put the Angel Hernandez thing because it is more Tippy Pitches related, and I just don't know if we're going to check that off of our bingo card because it seems like they're just sleeping on the...
I think they're mailing it in.
They're sleeping on the job.
Yeah. No one wants to work anymore.
All
quite unfortunate.
Highlight compilations of Angel Hernandez's worst calls.
I know. It's like, I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't want a highlight compilation of my own worst fuck-ups at work, but like, also, some of them are pretty brutal.
Nah, man, I don't make mistakes at work.
I know you don't.
Never do. Never have, never will.
No.
You know what really pisses me off about Angel Hernandez?
What's that?
His strike call is so self-aggrandizing when he shoots his hand all the way up in the air, hand open, and then dramatically puts it into a fist to indicate every strike that he calls. It's like, of course, when you call the wrong call and you're doing all that, people are going to get extra annoyed. Anyway, I hope he enjoys retirement. And
I see him I see that as him exercising his right to free umpiring. It's like you can umpire however you want. I think you may not like it, but I respect your right to umpire.
We need to put out like public challenges to the MLB Umpires Association. Like we need to start like accusing them of being soft and weak, and they've been lapped.
So baiting them. You want to bait the MLB Umpires Association?
Yes, okay. I think that they are loser baby cucks.
Yeah,
and I think that they have fallen out of favor both in baseball and in the culture. And I think that it's high time that they find a new Cowboy Joe, that they find a new renegade leader to bring them into this modern era, to beat back against the robots, to tell them, no, sir, you will not take our job away from us, Mr. Manfred. You're out of here in 2029 to get some dirt on Morgan's sword. Stevie agrees. By any means necessary, she says. We must bring the MLB Umpires Association into the 2020s and 2030s as strong as they've ever been.
I really... Can you imagine if like the relationship that umpires had with Rob Manfred was like the NYPD and Bill de Blasio? Can you imagine if like umpires refused to like face him? Like Manfred would walk in the stadium and they would all like turn towards center field.
Not only
can you imagine someone filming a campaign video that ends with "You're out of here, Rob Manfred"? Come on, you have my vote,
dog. Not only can I imagine it, I dream about it.
I know you do. Diamond dreams.
Fuck. We need them.
I know.
We, as a podcast, need them.
Well, they like keep things. They preserve a balance in the universe. I think.
Yes.
Right. The counterweight to the work that we do over here.
Okay. No, let's go to ups.
Okay.
They provide a counterbalance, just like we are going to provide a counterbalance to the growing up Italian.
I thought you were
meme page.
Counterbalance to the downs because we're doing the ups.
No.
You're like, that's too stupid.
You just keep going. I'm going to let Stevie out. She's got to eat.
Yep.
But I'm listening.
That's all right. I'm finding this next up. This is a This is a quick one, but this comes from Las Vegas locally, the news site. Developers are demolishing the Tropicana structure, whatever it resides on that site right now.
The Tropicana, like where the Rays play.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein, New York financier.
and they tweeted a photo of the like backhoe that I suppose there's a septic tank that resides under that site that they didn't prepare for. And so here you can see the photo of the backhoe that has fallen into the earth, into the septic tank. And I just really appreciate the synergy of the universe sometimes. I just really, really do. This does more to convince me of God's existence than 4 years of Catholic school.
All those Hail Marys didn't do it, but now, folks.
But now I'm like, there is a God and he has a sense of humor.
We got him. No, God's sense of humor was allowing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to break the Bin Laden assassination live at WWE.
Oh, we used to be a country, man.
A lot of people see God in like nature. Yeah, I see God in stuff like that. And you do too, and that's why we host this podcast together.
Exactly. All right, what's your first? What's your second up?
Yes, my first up was that no casino for Uncle Steve. Just another in a series of L's for the Mets this year. Got him. My second up is I was at the Mets game yesterday. Nothing good about that. Nothing good about the game itself. I showed up. They blew the save the second I got into the stadium. They promptly lost by giving up a home run to noted Mets enemy Freddie Freeman in the top of the 10th. Then they did not score in the bottom of the 10th, which is just great. And then in the second game of the single admission doubleheader, which I was attending, Ohtani did not play, so I didn't even get to watch him. And then the Mets were able to string together 3 hits over the course of the whole game. 3 hits. 2 of them were bloop singles to left field. No runs. Tough night at the ballpark. However, these guys behind me.
The guys talking about John Boy?
No, different guys. These guys behind me made it all worth it. Did you see what I tweeted from the Tipping Pitches account, the Samsung ad?
No.
Citi Field is this thing this year where they sell all of the ad space on the LED screens to the same company for each inning. So it's like you see 15 of the same ads all around the ballpark. And this was an ad for Samsung. And the caption said, "Bespoke AI appliances." Not just appliances. Not just bespoke appliances. And not just AI appliances, but bespoke AI appliances.
I have always wondered where I could get those. I've also always wondered what those are.
You live sort of a bespoke life. Yeah. You know, like you're a really pro bespoke guy. Like
define bespoke for me.
Yeah.
It's like handmade, right? It's something like that.
I always I kind of like know what it means, but I was just kind of let the context do the work.
Right. It's like, when you see it, you can't describe
it. Bespoke is like the opposite of chuggy, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Bespoke is like, oh, that's kind of like one of one, you know? That looks authentic. That looks nice. Like handmade, like you were saying. Right, yes. Yeah. In this case, it would be kind of like, oh, that appears to be craftsman-like. Bespoke.
Right.
AI appliances. I'm just going to keep saying it because I just kept reading it in my head. Bespoke AI appliances, bespoke AI appliances. And I was saying it out loud. Just like in the fetal position in the 400 section of Citi Field. And these guys behind me definitely heard me saying it because about 30 seconds later, they were speaking Japanese most of the night. About 30 seconds later, I heard them still speaking in Japanese, but insert the English phrase bespoke AI appliances into their conversation in Japanese. And I just was like, you know what? Tip of the cap, guys. You, me, we might be speaking a different language. We might be rooting for different teams, but we are united in this front about the ridiculousness of bespoke AI appliances. Bridging the gap, crossing the aisle. You know, the universal human experience is thinking that is a dumb fucking ad.
Yeah.
I loved it.
But you failed to consider that it is a whole new ballgame with AI. So, like, what were you expecting? I think they're trying to all one-up each other at this point.
Dog. Like, I'm staunchly anti-AI in an actually serious way.
Right.
Like, I think that it is ruining our lives, not because it's going to, like, take over the world, like Terminator or anything like that, but just because it's an easy place for companies to hoodwink themselves into putting money in places where it shouldn't go.
Right. And so, I mean, it doesn't help that it's burning the earth either.
Right. Well, maybe we should burn the earth faster.
Maybe it is helping burn the earth.
I'm an accelerationist, but for climate change. Did you watch Three Body Problem?
No, not yet.
Well, this doesn't work then.
Okay.
All right, keep it pushing. But every once in a while, it's nice to have something that is so universally stupid that everybody can just be like, this is so stupid. And last night, that was bespoke AI appliances. It's perfect. It's perfect. Like, I want to get it tattooed on me.
Yeah. Bespoke
AI appliances. Which, given the choice, which appliance in your apartment would you like most to replace with a bespoke AI appliance? Like, in your day-to-day life, you get up, get ready for work, go through your life. You're like, fuck, man, my life would be so improved if I had a bespoke AI
toilet. I don't need it to do very much for me. I would just like a little interaction. Hey, big one today, buddy. You eating all right? Like, I don't need it to do anything. I just want some companionship. I know a toilet isn't like an appliance, but I'm sure
it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I think of appliances as like something you like plug in.
That's probably true.
Okay.
But you could plug in a toilet if it was AI powered.
You absolutely could.
Have you ever seen one of those Japanese toilets that has all of those buttons on the side? Like controlling the bidet and all of that stuff?
I mean, I've seen a bidet before.
Dude, they're insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen a bidet? No way. I'm talking about something specific here.
No, then I haven't. No.
I feel so crazy. Like, I feel so crazy. Just bespoke AI appliances. Just like, I don't know, man. Still recovering from that.
Yeah. Is there an appliance that you would like to have be bespoke and AI powered?
Well, a lot of listeners probably know this because I think that I've made this joke on the big picture. But I do tweet from my fridge only. I tweet from my fridge.
Yes.
Never tweet from my phone. I always go over to my fridge and I'm like sent from my Samsung fridge.
Right. So you want to upgrade that one now.
Right. I want
it to be AI powered.
AI tweets sent from my fridge. Dog, you can just put AI in front of like literally anything.
Yeah.
And you can justify a $20 million ad spend on that.
Mm-hmm. This podcast is now AI powered, guys.
Don't even joke about it.
I know. I shouldn't put that out in the universe.
Bespoke AI cardigans.
That's like a dog whistle for the like worst LinkedIn influencers you've ever heard.
Dude.
You can wait, if you are quiet enough, you can hear them running.
The LinkedIn people, they're always just like, Bobby, I want to make your job easier.
Yeah.
I need to. They're like the Joker, you know? Right. They just want to watch.
You want to know how I got these leads?
They just want to watch my workflow burn, you know? They're not even in it for the money. They're like, I'll do it for free.
Right.
And there's so many of them because so many people want to work at The Ringer. So many people want to work at Spotify. So they're always just like, listen, I'm a podcast promoter and I also have AI tools to help your podcast once we promote it. It's like even, Headliner, which we use to make breakouts of our podcast. They have a monthly limit as to how many things they will transcribe for you for free using their automated transcription technology. There's a monthly limit, but when I hit that limit, I just go to a different part of their website because they have another feature that doesn't have a monthly limit that is AI-powered transcripts. It's just not...
Wait, so you're telling me this podcast actually is AI-powered?
Yeah, dude, and they suggest titles for it.
Wow.
The titles are epic. It's always like... The titles are always just like... Mookie Betts is the hero that we've always wanted and deserved and loved on Dodgers.
It's true. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Like, they really understand our brand, you know? Yeah, unfortunately, some parts of this podcast are AI powered.
You can't escape it. I mean, you literally can't.
I'm not going to sit there and type out. I actually tried. To go to like the text app, like the built-in text app on Mac, but it won't let you save it in the format that you need to tie it to a video. Like, it needs to be in VTT
right,
or SRT, and it just won't let you export it in that. And I'm like, I'm not downloading like the media fire. Like, I'm not doing I'm not downloading like the VLC media thing. Like,
see, that's why we're different, brother.
I just want bespoke AI transcripts.
I know you do so badly. It's coming, buddy. It's coming.
Bespoke AI elevator. Please do your next.
All right. So baseball.
If no one sends this to someone and says you have to subscribe to this Patreon, I will consider this whole episode a failure. Okay. Like, that's some of our best stuff. Bespoke AI appliances.
It's some of our stuff. Like, no doubt about that. My second up. Are you familiar with Jeremiah Estrada? You heard of him?
Yeah.
He's in the midst of something pretty cool right now. He has currently struck out 13 consecutive hitters, all swinging, I might add, which is this is the first time anyone has done this, at least knowingly, at least back to like the 50s when we started like recording all of these things.
Is it the first time someone's done it all swinging, or the first time someone's done it at all?
I believe it's the first time someone's done it at all.
Okay, I'm impressed. It's kind of a bummer that it's not all in the same game.
You said do better. Be a starter. No, I mean, it's a cool story. It's a very like quintessential baseball story, right? He was put on waivers by the Cubs 6 months ago, and now here he is closing out games for the Padres and breaking records. And you know what he's doing to celebrate breaking those records?
What's he doing to
celebrate? The exact same fucking thing I would do if I lived in Southern California.
Purchase
going
bespoke
to
AI appliances.
and out
burger. Yeah, baby.
Animal fries, double action. Posted it on his IG story. Said had to celebrate. And I salute him. I tip my cap to him.
What's your In-N-Out order? Animal fries double? How do you take your double?
I usually do animal style.
For both?
Yeah, I don't always do animal fries, though.
I do.
Sometimes it's a little... You what?
I always do both.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not there to be a baby. Like the MLB Umpires Association.
No, because I love the like grilled onions on the burger, you know?
Mm-hmm. You don't have to convince me.
No, I know.
But the animal style burger is not just the grilled onions on the burger. You can get the grilled onions not animal style.
Yes, no, you're right.
The key thing about the animal style burger, they fry it in a little bit of mustard.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they do that with all their burgers, don't they?
I don't think so. I think it's only the animal style ones.
Oh. See, that is the trick I learned when I was trying to recreate my In-N-Out burgers a couple years ago. The little mustard.
Mustard is so underrated.
Yep.
I got a hot dog at the ballpark last night. Little mustard, little relish.
Oof.
Now we're living.
Now we are living.
In-N-Out, great. Great work by him.
He's doing it for us.
Are the Padres good? The greatest argument in the history of forums, locked by moderators after
baseball right
12,000 comments. Is Jerry Dipoto a good GM? I don't know. Is AJ Preller a good GM? I don't know.
No.
Is there such a thing as a good GM? Early evidence on David Stern says no. Okay, my third and final up.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk any more about bespoke AI appliances, or should we move on?
I mean, I do actually have a lot more to say on that, but I'll
save it for the main feed. Yeah. Save it for the main feed. Okay, my third and final up is I learned you earlier in this here episode. You shared that, wow, only recording for 70 minutes. Feels like we've been going for 2 hours.
Yeah, it does.
You shared that the Washington Examiner decried how MLB is part of the wokeification of our modern society and language. Unfortunately, not only have we lost Major League Baseball and the Phillies booth, we've lost the defense contractors too. And my third and final up this week is the funniest thing I saw. So glad
you're doing this
all week, which was that there's a new website out there called buywokefree.com. This is just one of many grifts that we've seen on the right, where it's like, you don't want to buy Bud Light, you want to buy woke beer. And they're like, we're making a woke beer, and they like shoot Bud Light with a gun, and then they like try to shotgun, their off-label Keystone Light,
right. Yeah.
And now we have that, but for all companies. I think Buy Woke Free is just in beta though, because it didn't have very many companies on their website.
Well, they don't have a lot of like woke companies, right? They have like 2 or 3 dozen woke companies, but they do have far more unwoke.
The alternative companies. Yeah. So it's supposed to be a website for good, true American patriots to go to find out where they should be diverting their money towards. It's sort of like mutual aid for anti-wokeness. And they have companies on their website that they're like, don't shop here because they're too woke now. And I went to go look for Major League Baseball. Unfortunately, Buy Woke Free has not weighed in on Major League Baseball yet. I anxiously await it.
It's coming.
It's like when a new album comes out and you're just like waiting for the Pitchfork review. But Buy Woke Free did weigh in on noted Texas Rangers sponsor Lockheed Martin. Are you familiar with Lockheed Martin's work?
I've heard of them.
Yeah. And you support everything that they do. Anyway, Buy Woke Free rated Lockheed Martin on their little scale extremely woke.
And you're happy to know that they're on our side? That's why this is your up?
Well, now that they're part of the wokeification of America, and now, they're part of the Marxist Leninist movement, I'm like, we finally got some munitions on this side of the fight. We're always just like fighting fights with our iced coffees. We finally got what we need to make some real change. No, I put this on my ups because it's just so funny.
Yeah.
It's so
I mean, of course.
Like, I laughed so hard at the idea of Lockheed Martin being woke. Like, they make the F-35.
Yeah, like, what else do you need?
They make warheads. I mean, like, what does woke mean in this context?
Yeah, I mean,
they probably tweeted like for Pride Month last year or something, and that makes them, quote, extremely woke.
Yeah, I think. I mean, and you can go in and see, right? They talk about why.
I didn't want to like do too much clicking around on the buywokefree.com.
No, I did. I gave them the clicks. I don't care. Whatever. I was like, they have 200 followers. They're not getting very many clicks right now. So like, yeah, they include their like the fact that they have like a diversity and inclusion report that they release, which is so fucked up if you ask me. Just another sign of the moral rot embedded in our culture.
What is Lockheed Martin putting on that? I always wonder with these companies like that are just pure evil, what the point is. Why are they going through that effort? Like, why is McKinsey putting out like their 10 rules about how to pick, how to choose to consult morally? Like, what do you? There's nothing left to lose here, guys.
Yeah, right. You have stuff like the like. Oh, he's the chairman, the president, and the CEO of Lockheed Martin. Fucking pick one, dude. Come on.
Title inflation.
He's like striving to maintain a diverse workforce and an inclusive work environment. It's not only the right thing to do, It is a business imperative.
I just don't think
fucking commie, if you ask me.
I love how Lockheed Martin is on buywokefree.com though, like implying that, again, this is like what I was talking about with half of the MLB advertisers. I can't actually use their product.
No, I know. Yeah.
I can't buy from Lockheed Martin. I'm not the IDF. I can't. Go to LockheedMartin.com right now. What's available for purchase? Absolutely nothing.
Merch? You get some merch.
Dude, you should buy some Lockheed Martin merch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I just want to point out, when you go to the non-woke section and click on aerospace and defense, guess what? There's nothing fucking there. Because there's like 7 defense companies and they all do the exact same thing.
7 is a lot. It's high.
That is probably high. Yeah.
I don't think I could name 4.
Raytheon, Lockheed Martin.
Those are the big ones.
Those are kind of the ones. They're here.
I don't got any others.
I mean, like, there are a lot of like Boeing is not a defense company primarily.
No, they're an offense company. They're out here playing offense on all the whistleblowers.
They are. Now, I should note, we can get listed here. We can submit ourselves. We could submit our business for submission on buywokefree.com.
Can we submit someone else's business? Can we submit John Boy? Can we submit MLB? I want to know what they have to say.
Yeah. That's actually not a bad idea. I have to assume, right, there's a big get listed button. And I assume the point is like, this is basically just free.
There's a big red button. You should click it.
This is basically just like free marketing for brands that like style themselves as anti-woke or whatever. Right. I think that's mostly what this is a vehicle for. But I have to assume they do some due diligence. If I put Major League Baseball in there, they wouldn't just put them in there as an anti-woke company. God, that's such a good idea.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to do that right after we finish recording.
I'm full of good ideas.
You are. We don't have to talk about this anymore.
You should submit the individual teams
and make them each rate each of the teams.
Right.
Yeah.
The wokest team is who? There was one team that like didn't put out a statement or something. Oh, there was one team that had like an actual statement for Pride Night. Which team was that?
It was the Orioles, I think.
Right? Oh yeah. Yeah, they're probably the wokest team.
They are probably the wokest team. Ironically, the not wokest team is the Texas Rangers.
Yep. Not now though.
Wow.
They're
guilt by association
with Lockheed Martin. Okay, what's your third and final up?
My third and final up is a little jaunt I'm taking next week.
Are you going to be on a Boeing?
Oh, Jesus. I know. My heart leaps for joy when I see the little Airbus like designator.
I prefer to call them Airbus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. In their native tongue.
Right.
It's crazy that there's not like a third airplane company.
Is it? Are you that shocked? Are you really that
But
shocked?
airplanes fly all over the world, and the world has, more regulation than America. How did that happen?
I don't know.
You're flying private though, so it doesn't matter.
Right. Yes, I know. I am. Right. So the MLB series is coming up in London. I'm going to be in London. I'm not going to the series, obviously. I don't give a shit.
Not now that you know that the Mets aren't the anti-wokest team.
Yeah, seriously. What do you think, Mets Phillies? Who's woker?
The Phillies are woker.
Yeah.
The Mets fans are woker, but the Phillies players are woker. I don't even know what we're talking about.
I don't even know. This once again, we're back to like words don't fucking mean anything anymore.
No, they don't. But the Phillies are, very romantic with each other. And their announcer was the one that did the whole partner thing.
That's true.
I don't know. The Mets have Keith. Q Shaman himself.
I'll be doing a little on the ground reporting. Boots on the ground. That's what we like to do. Famously on this podcast, we get out there. We put our boots on the ground and we do real live reporting. So I feel very prepared to do that in another country where I don't speak the language.
You don't speak the language.
Have you ever listened to them speak?
Bro, but you have a good British accent. That's one of the things that listeners of this podcast don't know about you because you're too afraid to whip it out.
Yeah.
You make me do all the accent work.
Off to see the MLB series in London.
Yes. 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 This podcast was worth it.
Absolute belter to right field.
So basically,
I might even have myself a hot dog and a pint.
That was a little Australian.
I kind of lost it there.
You're getting ready for Furiosa tomorrow night. So if you're going to be at the London series and you're listening to this right now, you should call Alex. His number is 516. Sorry, 510.
Yeah, there you go.
516 is Long Island.
Yeah. I thought you were intentionally doing that to throw people off the scent.
I'm giving you a 516 number so that we could complete the honorary Italian American application.
There we go.
See, I can always bring it back. Come on.
Dude.
You can't catch me slipping.
Such a fucking producer, man.
I'm such a pro. Come on. Years and years of this. Pretend like I'm not a pro. I'm a pro. The only thing that can throw me off my game, bespoke AI appliances.
Of course. It's like it worms its way into your brain and it doesn't leave.
So your third and final up is you're going to the London series.
Yeah, that's it. That'll be fun.
I'm excited to hear your dispatches from the London series. I will not be making the trip, but will be.
Someone has to man the boards back here. You know,
we can't. We're like the president and the vice president. We're not allowed to be on the same airplane, especially at Boeing, because if it goes down, then who's going to keep doing the righteous work here?
Right, Stevie.
You know,
I mean, she could, but
who's gonna be the person who's going to talk about bespoke AI appliances on this baseball podcast?
Yeah,
but I'm excited to see how many British people you can offend with your accent. And yes, we will be doing a special sort of Alex's Week in London at the London series episode. Not this upcoming Monday, but the week after that. So the week after the series, which will be the 10th or whatever. And hopefully some Patreon bonus content from the London series as well. We have that cooking in the oven. I looked at Yankees tickets last night for the weekend that you're at the London series.
Yeah.
Because the Dodgers are going to be coming into town to play the Yankees. And I was like, it might be nice to actually go see the Dodgers and be able to enjoy it. That's who I saw last night play the Mets.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but it's really expensive to go to Yankee Stadium. But maybe I'll make it a business expense. And while you're out there, like boots on the ground reporting about the London series, I'm going to be here. Boots on the ground reporting about the true American Patriot series.
You absolutely should. Getting back in touch with your Italian American roots.
Oh, I could wear my Italian Pride Night Dodgers hat.
Yes.
That friend of the podcast, listener of the show, Francesca sent me 2 years ago. Fuck, this is such a good idea.
And then whatever jersey we were wearing is just half buttoned, which you usually do anyway. So
I do actually do that.
I think we've reached emotional breaking point, Bobby, in this podcast.
It just really cuts deep when you like point out all the things that are stereotypical about me.
That you actually do.
You're like, oh, you are racked with guilt from your Catholic upbringing, and you do dress like the traditional Italian American male dresses, like, and you wear all the jewelry, and it's just really funny. It
hurts to feel seen.
Do I have a Dodgers jersey? I don't think I do. And now you can't buy a jersey anymore because of wokeness.
I know.
Because fanatics. I don't think I do. But I can wear my Unionize the Miners Dodgers shirt.
Easy. Lock it in.
This is a great idea.
You actually should. Wait, so how much were tickets?
They were like $115.
Oh my God.
For the cheapest tickets.
I was really hoping they were not going to be triple digits.
I think that one of the Sunday game was like $75.
Oh,
cheapest
great.
Ones. Fucking you lose that in,
Right, I lose that in a day of sports betting. Like
I was going to say, you lose that in a week of investing in A-Rod's stock.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Well played. Well done.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for listening to this week's Patreon episode. I got to say, the Patreon episodes are they are so much better than the normal episodes. So if you're listening to this and you have somebody who listens to the regular episode but is not a patron, you just gotta let them know all about all the great stuff that we're cooking up over here. We'll be back on the main feed in just a couple days, and we'll be back Patreon feed with a special London bonus episode in 2 weeks.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alex Rodriguez. Tipping pitches.
Tipping pitches.
This is the one that I love the most.
Tipping pitches.
So we'll see you next week. See ya!